Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's jump into a Mother's Day tale from a busy craft store where one overworked sales lead faced a particularly entitled customer during the Sunday chaos. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with a turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Entitled customer learns patience isn't sold in craft stores. This sweet story happened not long ago on Mother's Day. As the sales floor lead at a certain big box craft store, Sundays are usually the worst day of the week for us to cover. Today wasn't even good. We had 2 calls for the closing crew, and around 3 p.m. we were overloaded with lines at the registers, curbside orders ringing off the hook, the framing counter busy, you name it. I was going to the front to bring up a sidewalk order when a man in a suit who looked angry came running at me from the registers. AC, annoyed customer. Me. AC, excuse me, could you help me? Me, sure, how can I assist you? AC, I need to go back. Me, all right, just wait in line over there, points to the line, and the checker will be able to help you. AC, do you want me to wait in line? It's really long. There are 5 people in line, which is long for one cashier, but I knew my other friend was on her way up because she had just taken out an order and our other cashier was on break. Us. I'm so sorry, sir. We're in a hurry right now, but my... AC, cutting me off. There's only one cashier up there. Don't you think that's pretty silly? Really? Come on. Someone called out sick, so we're short-staffed tonight, but my friend will be up soon, and I have to... AC, cutting me off again. I just don't understand why you want me to wait there when you only have one cashier. Really, can't you see that it's wrong? By the way he's acting and looking at me, it's pretty clear that he wants me to drop what I'm doing and go over there and open a new register just for him so he can skip the line. I probably could have done that, but I really didn't want to. And luckily I can say no in this case. Me. I'm sorry about that. The only other thing we do is look at each other. I look at him, and he sighs and stomps off toward the line. Someone at work looks at me with a knowing look as she walks by and quickly opens another register. I took out the last few orders and helped customers who called out to me in the store. The line was gone in less than 10 minutes. My coworker was talking to the cashier, and the cashier told me that the guy had tried to cut in front of her and yelled when she told him he couldn't. Then he saw me, and when I also wouldn't let him cut, he waited in line until he got my other coworker, and then he yelled at her. The best part? She basically told him the same thing I did and said again that there had been 2 call-outs. This made him yell, "I don't even know what call-out means." Lucky you. The classic tale of an entitled customer thinking they're the only person on the planet. This guy really took main character energy to the next level. Imagine stomping around a craft store on Mother's Day of all days, acting like you're the one being wronged because you have to wait in line like everyone else. His audacity to not only cut you off mid-sentence, but then try to jump the line is just rude. It's a big box store, dude, not a personal concierge service. The concept isn't rocket science. Someone didn't show up for work. Deal with it. And our second story. My coworker thinks he deserves a split of the tips from our shift. When I was in college, I worked at a local pizza shop that was right across the street from campus. The staff in a shift would be 3 to 4 guys, 1 to make pizza, 1 to help coordinate orders, 1 to run register, and a floater, bus tables, take out food, restock the food, etc. There were 2 shifts each day that switched at 5 p.m., and we had a tip jar that would get split up at the end of each shift. CW coworker, CB choosing beggar. It was a Sunday, and I'd been working the morning shift with 2 other guys, CW and CB. CB was making pizzas, CW running register, bussing tables, and I was taking orders, running food, whatever needed to be done to help everyone else out. It was about 2:30 p.m. and the store was pretty quiet, so CB said he was going to run to his apartment and would be right back. He lived next door and business was slow, so I didn't think anything of it. He's gone for a little while, and we start to see a trickle of customers come in. I knew how to make pizza, so I went to work. CW and I knock out all the orders and deliver everyone their food and are relaxing while the customers eat. Once the customers had left, we've cleaned the tables. CW said one left us $6 and put it in the tip jar. When CB finally gets back at 4:45, he walks in all stressed and says sorry he's late, he took a nap and overslept. I'm thinking, wow, dude, literally sleeping on the job, but whatever. I'm not usually confrontational and just let it go. Since it's close to the end of our shift, the new team's starting to arrive, so we split up the tip jar. I pull all the money out and start splitting it into 3, but I set aside the $6 from the customers CW and I covered on our own to be split between just me and him. CB was in the back, but comes up front to get his share of the tips. He sees me finish up and gives CW and myself $3 extra each, then hand him his stack. CB, hey, you guys got more tips than me. Me, yeah, when you were at your apartment, we had some customers come in and they left us $6. CB, and why do only you and CW get that? Me, because you were gone for over 2 hours on a break and we took care of them. CB, man, that's bullcrap. When we work a shift together, we split the entire tip jar together. Me, you were effing asleep. You don't deserve this tip at all. CW and I earned this. CB, man, F this. I'm telling the boss when he gets in. I was livid that he felt entitled to this money when he bailed on us during the shift, and I just wanted to be done with him, so I took $2 out of my tips and slammed it on the counter and said, here's your money. CB, crap, I don't want it anymore. It's about the principle of the thing now. I'm going to tell the boss that you tried to screw me out of some of the tip jar. I just grabbed the money, clocked out, and left. My next shift was the following Thursday, and CB was not working my shift. When I got in, the boss was there, and while everyone was standing up front, he called me into the back of the store in the kitchen. Now, this is where I have to mention that I'd been working at this shop for over 3 years at this point, and I was considered one of the best workers we had. CB'd been working for about 3 months. I definitely had the trust and confidence of my superiors. I walk into the back, and he says CB came to him and said I didn't split the tip jar fairly last shift, and I owe him $2. I explained my side of what happened, that CB left and fell asleep at his apartment, that we handled those customers while he was gone, and that I even offered him the $2 that day, but he wouldn't take it. The boss said he believed my version and thought CB's story sounded uncharacteristic of me. He told me that if that situation ever happened again, to call him first, and he'll come up to the shop to bust CB, and second, to split those tips before CB gets back next time. Wow, talk about entitlement. CB didn't just leave the shift hanging, he tried to guilt his way into cash he absolutely didn't earn. Sleeping on the job, at your apartment no less, and then demanding a share of tips? That's next level audacity. The way you handled it, keeping calm, even offering him the $2 just to shut him up, speaks volumes about your character. It's no wonder the boss trusted you over CB. The boss's advice was solid. Don't let CB even get close to those tips if it happens again. You earned your share fair and square. I bet CB didn't last much longer at the shop with behavior like that. And our next story. BMW blocks wheelchair ramp, justice rolls in. I just got into church. A friend of mine named Kyle was mad and in his custom-made electric wheelchair. Someone had parked a brand new BMW right next to the ramp Kyle uses to get in. I went inside and got a wheelchair. It was easy for me to pick him up and carry him to the church's wheelchair. Then 3 other guys and I picked up Kyle's chair and carried it to the top of the stairs. I went to my car after putting Kyle in his chair. I got so close to their car that they couldn't move it. After that, I went to church and joined the service. A man came in after about 45 minutes and looked around. I got up and asked him if I could help him. He stayed because someone stopped him. As soon as we got outside, I told him how annoying it was. After that, I ripped this guy a new a-hole. I told them they would have to wait after yelling at them for 15 minutes. They were very angry and said they would call 911 to say they were being held against their will. I'd already called the cops on the line that's not for emergencies. I moved back when the cops finally arrived. When the police officer asked them why they were stopped in front of the ramp, they told him a story. He chewed them out, and I just smiled as I walked away. They got more than one ticket. Kyle must have been so grateful to have someone like you in his corner. Not just lifting him literally, but standing up for his right to access a space meant for everyone. It's hard to imagine the audacity of someone parking in front of a ramp, especially at a church of all places. But your patience, combined with your firm stand, made sure they didn't get away with it. People like you remind us that small acts of defiance can make a big impact. Kyle deserved better, and you delivered. Bravo. And our last story. Karen's costly parking lesson, $800, a tow, and a new grudge. I live next to a duplex with a shared parking lot. My private driveway is blocked from the duplex parking lot by a clear sign that says private driveway, no duplex parking. Even though there was a sign and a lot of room in the duplex parking lot, some tenants or their guests would park in my driveway without paying attention to the boundary. The owner of the duplex knew about the problem. After getting several reports, he said, "I put up signs to show where tenants and visitors can park. Just call a tow company if someone parks on your land." A beat-up Honda Civic blocked my driveway one morning as I was going for work. There it was again. This car had been there before. Karen, the owner, had done this at least 3 times before. I was done being nice. I called a tow truck company, but no one in town. I called one from 3 hours away. I thought the fee would go up as the trip got longer. As soon as the company said they could come, I told them to call me when they were ready to meet me to make sure everything went well. This is my boss. I live 5 minutes from work, so he let me run home during the day to take care of things. Before I got there, the trailer truck with Karen's car on it was already pulling out of my driveway. Karen yelled like her hair was on fire as I parked to check in with the driver. "Stop, that's my car," she yelled at the tow truck. "You can't take my car." He or she didn't even slow down. Karen became very angry with me. She yelled, "This is all your fault. You're going to pay to get my car back." It made me laugh out loud, to which I answered, "It's not my fault you can't read." I pointed to the no parking sign. This sign has been here for more than a year. It was allowed to tow your car. To make payment, you can call the business. Karen's face turned as red as a stop sign. "Where the hell is my car?" I calmly gave her the number of the tow company and said, "By the way, they're 3 hours away. Have fun." After that, I got back in my car and drove back to work. That night, the owner of the duplex came to my door. He began, "Hey," clearly upset. "Karen's been whining all day that you or I need to pay to get her car back." "What did you tell her?" I asked. I told her it was her fault. There are clear signs and she was told about them. She wasn't happy to hear that the tow fee alone is $800 because of how far it is, plus $150 a day for storage. I laughed. Well, she needs to learn a lesson. After a few days, I saw her car again in the guest parking area for the duplex. She never came back to my driveway, but every time she saw me, she'd glare daggers. I would always smile and wave at her just to make it official. You did everything right. Clear signage, multiple warnings, and even patience over her repeated infractions. Calling a tow truck from 3 hours away? Genius level petty. That $800+ towing and storage fee must have been a harsh reality check. Karen's outrage and demands for you to pay were the cherry on top of her entitlement. The duplex owner siding with you and refusing to take the blame just adds to the satisfaction. Her glaring daggers at you afterwards, just the perfect reminder of her defeat. Hopefully she thinks twice now before parking in someone else's driveway. The mental image of you smiling and waving at her every time is priceless. Petty, but oh so earned. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.